Week 9, Monday night, baby. It's Monday night. You know we're recording on Mondays. Welcome to the Nickel and Dime Show. Bucks on national TV against the Giants. Where else do you want to start this week? But right here with your boy, Drew, in the house. Let's get it done, baby. It's Nickel and Dime.
So feeling good, man? You feeling good?
I'm feeling about as good as I can. You know what I'm saying? Basically because we're facing obviously a Giants team that shouldn't be much, but like I said, I mean I've been mentioning this all week on social media, but it's personal, man. It's personal. And I remember last year's game, and it's time to get going, man. Like everybody who was on this team last year remembers what happened last year.
Game.
In that game, and it was week 3, it was early, and that it almost derailed the whole season, really, if you look at that game. It's personal, man, against the Giants. So the boys need to come out, they need to take care of business, and then worry about next week with a big matchup in the Saints team. Not only that, but we're wearing our red jerseys on the debut of the red jerseys. Red Thread Redemption, baby. Let's go.
All right, there we go. Well,
yeah,
it's a nice little intro. I mean, I wanted my man to take it because my team's still losing. So I didn't want to come.
Sorry about that, man.
It happens, man. We picked on the Falcons enough. I guess it's karma. Falcons beat us. I can't really say much. Our offense didn't really click once Teddy took a couple of them shots. And defense, sure enough, didn't show up. But I mean, Matt Ryan and Julio usually have our number, and they proved that once again. So. 3-5 going into the Chiefs. Gonna be 3-6. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, Drew. I don't see y'all pulling it out, man, against that Chiefs team. That just might be about to start rolling. Yeah,
I'm not that fan that's like, yeah, we got this. Yeah.
At least
threw a pass underhanded. Yeah. He completed an underhand pass. What can this dude not do? That's what I want. I want to find out what Pat Mahomes can't do.
He's good for about 1 or 2 of those a year. So I mean, I'm sorry that he just had to do it on y'all.
He did it on the Jets. Thank God. He did it on the Jets.
Oh yeah, okay.
He got it out of the system, so he doesn't do it to us.
Y'all gonna be in the whole team's yearly highlights though, because those passes they're forever cemented. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
Have fun with that. But no, I mean, I really don't see y'all coming for that. But I was hoping y'all was gonna at least. Put Atlanta to bed, and then not only that, but stay relevant in the playoff hunt, man. Getting those victories, but it wasn't meant to be.
I needed 2 things to happen this week. I needed the Panthers to beat the Falcons, and I needed the Bears to beat the Saints. Neither one of those things happened. So
yeah, we all needed the Bears to beat the Saints. Yeah. We really
beat
did.
Us. You beat the Bucks. What you couldn't take care of the Saints? Couldn't take care of the wounded.
I know, and that's just another reason that I know that the Bucks. Just weren't ready for that game, the Bears game. They weren't ready for it, especially with the way the team is looking now, or at least the last couple of weeks. But the Saints took care of business, but the Bears offense, man, it was looking like dink and dunk, not very, you know what I'm saying, together. Like it just looked like a bunch of different pieces, and it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. Nick Foles wasn't good.
Fluid is not a word you would use for Chicago's offense at any point this year. Yep. Well, I mean, staying in that division, moving on with our week 8 recap. Dalvin Cook.
Right.
Wow.
My God, Drew, did you see any of that game?
I watched the highlights. But
yes.
It looked like it was Dalvin Cook against Devontae Adams.
Yeah. This man scored 48 fantasy points, and I know because he was playing my team. He was not playing for my team; he was playing against my team. 48 fantasy points. This dude had 163 rush yards and 63 pass yards, 4 touchdowns.
Ooh.
4. Count them. Passing and rushing the ball. You know what I'm saying? So what do you do against that? And
you can't.
And to
you
be
can't
honest,
do anything
man.
to that.
Yeah. I mean, we'll foreshadow it a little bit, but the Packers defense, man, you need your comeuppance. You know what I'm saying? Like you just didn't get it done.
Where the Smiths is at?
Where are they? Like put them boys on the milk carton, man. Like where are they? I don't know. Yeah. They definitely need to step up. It looks like the Packers were missing Aaron Jones, Drew. Like Macho
doubt.
Man.
Williams did good, but he's no Aaron Jones.
Yeah, at least. I
feel like they need that
Aaron
1-2
Jones has
punch.
Been giving you, yeah.
You know, like Williams is a great compliment, and don't get me wrong, he had a great game, but they needed that change of pace, and they didn't. Yeah, they didn't have it.
And it's pretty much like what happened during the game is, well, one, they couldn't do anything to stop Dalvin Cook, and the rest of the offense decided to have a bad day on the same day that the defense again decided to have a bad day, and Aaron Rodgers couldn't overcome that. He was under duress all day. Like they were getting after him a little bit. Kirk Cousins did enough, you know what I'm saying? Like he did it. He did enough. Drew, but how about I'm honestly happy to say that I'm happy to be wrong. Dolphins with Tua, like first pass didn't go so well, but
as they tend to
fumble.
Not do.
Yeah, but the rest of, I mean, he was looking poised out there, like he was looking pretty poised.
My man looked happy to be playing football, and I love that for him.
Yeah, and it really. For as far as he's come, it really, like, you really forget that it was just a year ago, right? Yeah. Like, he already rehabbed. They were saying it could be longer than that. And he's right back playing in this pro game. So, like, shout to Tua having faith in himself and, like, getting back ready. Because there was a lot of, like, pundits when he was coming out was like, you might need to shy away from Tua. And he's proven everybody wrong. So, good for him, man.
Great for him. On the flip side of that game, though, the Rams, that's 2 straight. They're heading in the wrong direction.
Yeah, I didn't really see that coming. And like, to be honest with you, Goff played horrible, man. Like he played horrible. Like he was under pressure all day, so his offensive line didn't play good. But I mean, you kind of have to give credit to the Dolphins defense, man, and their special teams, and their special teams. Yeah, they were. Yep. Jakeem Grant, like. He was looking like he was a man possessed back there, like, and whenever he was coming up on defenders, he kept full speed, like, and you could see it in his runs. Like, maybe he was confident that he knew he was going to break one, and shout to him because he actually did. First one of the season. Yeah. But moving on to another game, I gotta just shout this dude out real quick. But Cowboys Eagles was straight bleh. It was TV.
Did you see the Cowboys quarterback, his quote today?
The new cheat? Nah, I didn't see it.
He was like, NFL is hard.
Yeah, it looks like it. I mean, to be honest, Ben, me and Drew would not know. We would not know if it was hard. But it looks hard. It looks hard, right? Like, yeah.
Looks very fast. Hard, so. I'm not fast.
Right. Aggressive.
Yeah. I don't want to take a hit from one of those linebackers.
No. And if we were being honest with ourselves, a little scary.
Yeah. Could you imagine being in the middle of that? People just zooming by you, like, nah.
No, I can't be. That's why the punters and kickers always look distressed.
Terrified.
Like whenever they have to make a play, you know what I'm saying? Like they don't know what to do. Like that's why they always look goofy.
Go for the knees every time. Go for the knees.
Oh man, nah. But yeah, so I wanted to shout out Trevin Diggs. He had 2 picks. The rookie.
Dude, that one where he was diving, I watched that live when he dove and put his shin down on his way out of bounds. Beautiful. That was dope. I do have to say, though, all anybody is going to remember when they watch the highlights of that game, speaking of Trevin Diggs, is the stiff arm from hell. Fulgham palmed that man in the face and sat him on his ass. I mean, sat him on his ass. Hey, he sat him on his ass. I mean, let's not sugarcoat it. It's what happened. A grown man on his ass.
Yeah. And honestly, and I can kind of attest to this because I have Zeke Elliott on my fantasy team, but Dallas, if y'all being honest with yourselves, man, Pollard is the better back right now.
Yeah.
Like Pollard is the better back right now.
You don't have a lot of hot hands in Dallas. You got to ride the hot hand right now.
No, and it's weird to see. You know what I'm saying? Like Zeke is he don't look like himself, man. Like and I wasn't a big Zeke fan, and then like but you can't deny what he's been able to do over the past couple of years, and like that guy don't look like this guy that they're getting right now. In my opinion,
I think he truly cares. You know what I mean? I think he.
That's unfortunate though.
So why?
Yeah. That's unfortunate.
Because he looks like he has fun when his boy Dak's out there. I don't think he cares, man.
Yeah, and but still though, is so much football left to be played. We mention this every week, Drew, but like it's still so much football left to be played for that division to play out. And the Eagles just, I mean, talking about the Eagles, I mean, Wentz, they are ready to like toss that man into the garbage, man.
Well,
like
at least they won behind him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Yep. Coming in, like I said last week, coming in positive plays. It's a discussion to be had, and that's why we had it last week. You know what I'm saying? Like we want to be ahead of the curve as much as possible. And that's why, you come here for this content though. I mean, let's be honest with it. Exactly. Yeah. But Drew, what'd you think about the Titans, man? Talking about the hometown.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Tannehill.
Tannehill. Yeah,
like if I was a defensive coordinator playing Tennessee, I would stack the box and maybe double up, maybe put a safety over top AJ Brown, and make Tannehill beat me, man. Like he can't. Like there's a reason that if those games that they put everything on Henry, and like had another stellar game, 112 yards and a touchdown. Like, but he can't do it all himself. You know what I mean? Like the defense knows what's coming.
Yeah,
you can't win games like that.
Nah, and to kind of add to your point, man, they do look like a team that's like at a crossroads right now. Like they look like they're a team at a crossroads because they just lost. Like they were rolling, Drew. Like they were rolling 5-0, right? And then they lost the last two. Now where do you go from here? I want to say like they could be getting close to their bye. I'm not sure if they're on a bye next week or who they got next week. Right. But it's two teams like at two opposite ends of the spectrum though, because you lost to a Bengals team, and to be honest, let's give Burrows, dude. He was carving them boys good, man. Up. He was carving them boys up.
Boyd is his dude, man. Like he's staked his claim. Boyd is his go-to guy.
Yeah, Higgins too though.
Yeah.
T. We talked about him last week. They
just need to cut Green, man. Just put him out of his misery.
But they still need him. I mean, he's serviceable because he still presents a name. But
he's
like
a good decoy.
I mean, you might be basically putting that man to bed because it ain't looking good, man.
Bernard looked good too, man.
It just looks off.
And mop-up duty for Mixon, man. He did great.
Yeah. Fountain of youth with that guy. I mean, like he's just been. I'm gonna just be honest, man. I love Gio Bernard. I love his game, man. Like I think he's a severely underrated.
He's a Swiss Army knife, man.
Yeah, and if he ever, that's why he's had such a long career in Cincinnati, is because they value him. They value him,
and he fits in their scheme really well. Like it doesn't matter the quarterback. Like whatever they ask of him, he's gonna figure it out.
Right, exactly. But talking about Burrow, like getting back to Burrow, man, 106 QB rating. Right. Oof. 106 QB rating. 70% of his passes on that Titans defense, man, which is exactly why they made that trade today for Desmond King, 2018 All-Pro cornerback, and only a sixth for Desmond King, though.
I did not expect that, man. I was waiting for the like first 6 round pick, and I was like, and?
Yeah. Desmond King, if y'all don't know, man, 2018 All-Pro, just a couple years ago, going to going to the Titans from the Chargers. I guess they're selling off pieces. They, I figured
they lost again.
They would. Well, I know, but like more than a six, though. I mean, you could do something with that. But
no doubt.
I don't get it.
You could have gotten a third for him. I feel like
2 touchdowns too for Joe Burrow.
That's just me,
Yeah.
Talking
about Denver though. This one was all Chargers, and like. It was all Chargers, and it was all good just a half ago, like a tale of two halves.
Like a half ago.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like it was all Chargers, and then they played not to lose, Drew, to be honest with you. They played not to lose. They were getting mad conservative, and honestly, like for as much of a Drew Lock fan as I am not, my man was looking poised in the pocket. They were only sending 4 at him, Drew.
He was dancing.
Sending 4 at him.
He was dancing on the sideline. Right, he was having a good time, man.
That's how you know he was comfortable. He was way too comfortable back there. Yeah. And basically what they did is it looks like the Chargers shelled up. They played a soft coverage, and only sent 4 at him. And Joey Bosa and Tillery and all them boys, they were not getting home. They weren't getting home, and he was sitting back there carving them up, making it happen. And the receivers, Well, they were putting the receivers in position to get a lot of yards after the catch, and those are the type of receivers they have on that team that can do that. KJ Hamler wasn't in there, but Hamilton, you know what I'm saying, had Jerry Jeudy in there doing work. So I like it. I like it.
You think the future's bright in Denver?
I'm still not sold on Locke, but like the receivers, yes, Garrett Bowles, much maligned Garrett Bowles, playing better, with that Denver squad. So, they have pieces there, and then you still have Chubb and Miller's injured. They have pieces there. I don't know why they got rid of Chris Harris though, but you know that's just me.
Like he was that just team. Me. I feel like that anytime you thought of Denver's defense, it was Chris Harris.
Right.
But a couple more quick notes. Raiders. Go ahead, man. Yeah, the Raiders. The Raiders that got a much needed win in Cleveland. Mm-hmm. So that's big to keeping them hopes alive in the AFC.
Oh yeah. Shout to them.
Yeah, it looks like the Colts might be getting back on a little bit of track. I doubted them, but they beat the old Lions. I don't know if it was more of the Lions beating themselves or the Colts playing well, but I mean we would be remiss if we didn't touch on Cam fumbling the ball on the 10-yard line. Man, they're only down by 3 to Buffalo in the fourth.
Yep.
Cam coughs it up.
He did, man. And like Drew, to be honest with you, man, like if he doesn't fumble, do they score there? Like at least get a 3. You know what I'm saying? Like
I think they at least tie it up. You know what I mean? Like
right. So it's an unfortunate circumstance, and I don't think anybody is beating himself up more than Cam Newton. No doubt. You know what I'm saying? Like it's one of those things. So hopefully he can get his mind right, and then he got the vote of confidence by you know what I'm saying, by Bill Belichick, which he probably needs. So it'll be interesting to see, man, how they bounce back.
You can't get too down on Cam because he goes the wrong direction with it, I feel like.
And you're hoping for a spiral. I mean, you can account for that more than anybody, but don't want that man to spiral. Don't want him to spiral.
And really, the last thing I got on Week 8, we can move on. Seahawks still staking that claim as the best in the NFC West. Put it on the 49ers, and we'll get to it in just a second with some housekeeping notes, but 49ers are hurt team.
Yeah, they are, man. That they still like, and I'm talking about it, man. Like Garoppolo's out, Kittle's out, and it's looking like a long time, man. High ankle sprains, Drew. You know, the dreaded high ankle sprain, right?
The big old question mark that is a high ankle sprain.
Yeah. Who knows how long that could actually happen? And now, what I was getting into that I could not spit out is your man's Nick Mullins right back into the starting lineup, man. Like, what is he going to do? And now it's on the pressure's on. Is it not? Nothing. Is it not?
It is. It's not.
I mean, because to be honest with you, and we'll talk about this a little bit later with my matchups, but this is a team that's fighting and clawing their way to playoff relevancy. You know what I'm saying? Like
they look good for a few weeks. They look terrible for a few weeks. I don't.
Right. And I think like go ahead.
No, you go for it.
No, I was just saying like I think a lot of that may be the scheme, and like I don't want to give too much away, but the Niners are a team, even though they're injured, they're still right in the thick of it, and they're basically making problems for that NFC West. You know what I mean?
Well, speaking of NFC in general, how you feeling about the NFC as a whole?
It's a tight race. It's really like where it is right now because there's still not a lot of separation between what is 9 teams basically right now. Like there's about 9 teams in there. And then you have the teams that are maybe in the 10 or 11 spot, like the Panthers, who are not an easy out. You know what I'm saying? Like the Panthers are still not technically out of it, but like I
think they can beat anybody on any given day. You know what I mean?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like they can get hot and surprise you. So like but that top 9 is still a lot of football left to be played. But each week, if y'all are looking at the standings after each week, which like I am, one win it's gonna be tight coming down. Even though there's only 7 spots, it's gonna be tight. And the reason why it's gonna be tight is because the NFC East is mucking it up. Like they're guaranteed a spot. They're all trash and they're guaranteed a spot. So like it's 8 spots or excuse me, like it's 6 more spots and they're getting one of them and undeservedly so. So like, you know, and it would be even worse. Like Drew, right. Drew, talk about it though. Like if this was not 2020 with all of his ills, it would be even worse if this was last year because it would only be 6 spots and they would be so it would be 5 teams fighting for all these spots.
Thank God they added that extra.
Thank God they added a 7th. Yeah,
because I'd be so mad if I was number 7 this year.
Exactly. So, what else you got, man?
That's it, man. Got a couple housekeeping notes real quick before we completely move on.
Drop them.
Housekeeping. Like we said, Kittle out at least 8 weeks. Jimmy G a minimum of 6, but Jimmy G might need surgery, so they're waiting to see how that pans out. Like you said, Titans trade for Desmond King from the Chargers for a 6th-round pick.
Crazy.
Saints trade Alonzo, Kiko Alonzo, and I want to say was it a 5th? It might have been a 6th as well.
5th or 6th, and Quan. Yeah,
they get Quan Alexander from the 49ers.
Yeah, we know him all too well, man. Yeah. And he'll probably be playing in that Saints game, to be honest with you.
Yeah, can he get in the scheme? The Raiders, Trent Brown, still in the hospital. Apparently, my man had an episode getting a pregame IV yesterday. So they still don't know what happened there.
Yes, we will talk about that very shortly. Stay tuned for that.
Nice. These trainers need to get it together, man.
Talk about it. Yeah.
Last but not least, Garner Minshew out indefinitely with a fractured thumb. Jake Luton to start against the Texans for the Jaguars next week. Jake Luton. They have Mike Glennon on the team, but Jake Luton, 6th-round rookie, gonna get the nod.
That is not a good endorsement from Mike Glennon, man. Woo. Man, he stole them checks from the Chicago Bears, bro.
Oh, man,
he stole them
set
checks.
For life. Ain't never done anything. He stole them checks.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, Sean, we had so much fun last week doing the Gimme 3. So we got another Gimme 3 this week. Sir. I want you to tell me, we call this Gimme 3 Big Threat Energy.
Big Threat Energy.
Yeah. You're going to pick a team that's rolling right now, and then you're going to pick 3 teams that could pose a big threat against them. So what power team did you pick this week?
So, talking about the power team, and I feel like and the reason why we decided to do it this way is because they're obviously between all the fans, we all know who the power teams are, and it changes from year to year, but the point still remains that there are always a select few power teams that kind of dominate anybody and everybody, but there are certain teams who are just going to match up well with them and give them the best matchup and pose the biggest threat to this power team. So for this week, this very first week, the inaugural week, we are going with none other than the Super Bowl champion, Kansas City Chiefs, baby.
Ooh, start with the
that
best
is the power
of the
team.
Okay.
Oh, of course. Like we should.
We should.
So, the weaknesses for the Chiefs, though, honestly, for as good as they are offensively, Drew, did you know that they were 28th in rush defense per game, rush yards per game?
Oof.
Yeah, so they are giving up a lot of rush yards. And then they are susceptible.
Well.
Right, it's just what it is they win so, and Patrick Mahomes is so mesmerizing, and he passes
he dazzles.
Here and does all this stuff.
He dazzles and hypnotizes.
So it kind of makes you forget about the ills that they may have, right? So it's kind of one of those things. But as the Raiders kind of showed y'all as well, they are susceptible to big pass plays in the secondary as well. If they can kind of get a little lackadaisical at times. So those are the real weaknesses that they have, in my opinion, at least at this point in the season. A lot of football left to be played. So
I get you.
the three teams in this league right now, on any given Sunday, not only on any given Sunday, but on more Sundays than you would probably care to admit, Chiefs fans, will give y'all a run for your money. Number 1, first team, honestly, it's the Steelers, man. Pittsburgh Steelers.
That's their kryptonite, bro.
Yeah, they would give them fits with this with the way that the Steelers are currently set up. Go ahead.
No, I hear you, man. That's a matchup that my wife has already said she doesn't want to see. So that tells you how the mindset of the Chiefs fans right now.
Hey, and I did not ask that, so I'm spot on with these. I'm gonna tell you why, though. Steelers have a great defensive scheme. They have a great defensive scheme. You see, and they getting after a lot of different teams in a lot of different ways, shutting down Derrick Henry, making Baker Mayfield not utilize his weapons and making him uncomfortable in the pocket. They can do it a lot of different ways. Shout to TJ Watt. That's my dude, man. I love TJ Watt.
No,
They
the tuna's for
also.
TJ.
Oh,
I
did
love
not know
those
that.
I love those Watt brother Subway commercials. I'm like, no, turkey for JJ, tuna for TJ.
Oh yeah. He was like, "You've been here every day." Yeah.
You know what comes on that?
Right, exactly. And like, honestly, if these two teams play, Drew, like it's probably going to be a shootout, right? More than likely, it's going to be a shootout.
Oh, yeah.
The Steelers have the weapons to survive a shootout and thrive with those big receiving. Ben still got a big arm. He's still getting it done. So and not only that, but like I just said, they have a deep wide receiver core. So those are the reason why the Steelers now moving right along into team number two. Team number two, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, baby. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hey, I mean, like, to be honest with you, man, like, how could we not? Like, and I'm gonna get right into it, just so you know, giving me like hold on, I was about to go off and like on a cursing tirade, but like,
sound like a 3-6 Mafia song. Oh,
right, yeah, I was about to go off. But like, all right, 1, 2, 3. Number two, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, baby. And why not? Why not? Of course it'd be us, right? Of course it'd be us. And I'm gonna tell you why, just so you know, it's not like me being a homer or whatever. Deep secondary. The weak link right now being Sean Murphy Bunting, but Jamel Dean, Mike Edwards making plays, Carlton Davis, #1 corner. Like, we have a deep secondary. Defensive scheme overall, like, they are doing it. The Bucs are doing it on all three levels. And hopefully y'all get to see that tonight with this Monday night game against a team that we should throttle. I'm going to be honest with you. We should, but football is football. So hopefully you get to see that all three levels, getting after the passer, linebackers, sideline to sideline, the best tandem in the league. We can do it on all three levels, like I just mentioned. So, stout run defense, number 2 in the league. Slipped a bit from number 1, but still number 2. And they have too many weapons, Drew. I went through all of that and didn't even mention the weapons that the Bucs have on offense. So, that would be a matchup problem for the Chiefs.
Like,
shootout more than likely, right?
Name wise, I feel like the Bucs stack up the best against the Chiefs. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
At Fournette. You know, like Bell.
Yeah.
You know, like you got a young, promising running back in Rojo. They got a young, promising in Edwards Hilaire. You know what I mean? Like, I feel
it's
like
kind of tit for tat.
Kind of a mirror image. But, you know, don't want to say this too loud because the wife might hear me. You might have a better defense than them.
Yeah, and I mean, talking about it, like we just said that they are the 28th ranked rush defense, giving up the 28th most rush yards per game in the league. That's not a misread or misprint. Like, so the Bucs are also able to run the ball, and then on the flip side have a very stout run defense. Yeah. It'd be a problem. Like, it would be a problem.
Control the clock, because that's another thing that I wanted to add to. It's got to be a team that can keep Pat Mahomes on the sideline.
Right.
You know what
exactly.
I mean? Like, that's the best way to beat the Chiefs is just not let them play.
Way to tee me up, my good man. But the third team that would give the Chiefs the most problems, in my opinion, honestly, even though they just lost yesterday, it is the Tennessee Titans. And why? Drew, you just talked about it. A team that can control the clock. Especially when it starts to get cold outside. Mm-hmm. Derrick Henry, even though he didn't have, you know what I'm saying, Derrick Henry is consistent. I think at this point, like, know what he's going to give you, and then he can give you way more than that, right?
No doubt.
But in that type of environment, I think if a couple things go right and they're able to get up and run that ball, they might keep Patrick Mahomes on the sideline, like Drew just alluded to. So that is my 3 teams, big threat energy. Chiefs edition, man. They if y'all match up with them at any point in time, know that you're gonna have a game on your hands, right? You're gonna have a game on your hands, yeah.
Well, riding that Kansas City Chiefs train, our your team updates is the Chiefs this week. My lovely wife, who is arguably a bigger football fan than me, and that's tough to say. You know, I'm not disappointed to say it. I love it. So this is how my wife Laura Harrison feels about her Chiefs.
Winning. It's just so sweet. 5 touchdowns, Mahomes. 5. Keep it going. Let's take down those Panthers next week.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah. All right. You're like very confident.
5. Yeah.
Very confident.
I mean, I would be too.
She literally got to use a whole hand for the amount of touchdowns. So,
I mean,
Good-
I feel
good.
like we've seen everything Pat Mahomes can do, and then he does something else,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, okay, he can do that
Right.
too. Cool.
Yeah. And it's
I'm
just
waiting for
like,
him to play a whole game left-handed, just because.
Drew, be honest. Like, especially you getting it like, literally like firsthand. But are you a little tired of Patrick Mahomes, man? Are you a little tired of seeing that man a lot?
Not
Like he's
really,
literally
man.
everywhere.
My man's
Not
so
really?
entertaining. I'm good with it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
All right.
I'm not gonna lie. I see where you're coming from. I thought I would be,
Yeah.
but I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah. I'm looking at my backdrop, and yes, I threw up red today, folks. It is a lot of red in the backdrop here, and look, deal with it.
No
Go
regrets.
Bucks, baby. Go Bucks, baby.
I
Go
hear you,
Bucks.
Sean, I got a new segment for you. Next, I'm gonna do it this week, and then I'm gonna give you the opportunity to tell me how you feel next week.
I like it.
Gonna call it. It's actually based off an idea that you had that you texted me when we were game planning for the show. It's called mid-season turnaround.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna pick two teams for you that, based on their schedule and the way they've been playing, could turn it around and actually win their division or make some noise in the playoffs, or at least knock some people out of the playoffs.
And everybody
So I got
loves
two teams.
Yeah. Everybody
No,
loves
go
a comeback story, right? So like this is
Of course.
This is a great segment, man. I didn't know we were debuting this week, but Drew dropped it on us, man.
Yeah.
And way to bless the
gave me
people. Way to bless the people.
Yeah, you threw the idea out, and my mind went crazy with it. So let's do
Nice.
that. First up, they got him a rookie quarterback, and they also got a hell of a backup in case something goes wrong. They've been making waves. They got a great defense. It's the Miami Dolphins.
Okay, saucy.
Listen to these next four games.
Let's
For
go.
them. Tell me they can't win all four of these games.
All right,
Arizona Cardinals.
big matchup, Drew. Way to talk about it, man. Go ahead.
Los Angeles Chargers.
All right,
Denver Broncos.
all
New
right.
York Jets.
Oh, Dolphins.
Tell me they can't go 4-0.
Tell me they can't go. Drew, way to pick that team, bro. I like it. Like and honestly, like, I'll just go ahead and give out one of my honorable mentions. This weekend is going to be great TV, folks. It is going to be great matchups this week.
I'm so glad I'm off. This
Right.
is my off weekend. I
Honor-
get to just watch
like,
nothing but football.
Yeah, I am not, so enjoy it. But
No.
but the talking about that Miami matchup, Miami Cardinals, that is a saucy
It's gonna be
matchup
so
this week,
good, man.
right?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, like honorable mention, and that is not one of our great matchups right now. You know what I'm
it's
saying? Like that's not
We
one of the
get-
matchups
we
we're
get
talking
Kyler
about.
and Tua.
Yeah, with
Like,
that
if they were
defense.
both back in college, would be licking our chops right
Exactly. So, talk. Who else you got, man? Like, what else? I mean, talked about the 4-0. Like, do you really think they could
now.
do
I
it?
think
Though?
they could go.
Yeah.
Just tell me though that they aren't in serious contention at week 11 if they're not 8-3.
Oh yeah. No, bro. And honestly, like, without knowing, like, have they played the Bills yet? I don't know if they've played the Bills, like, but I want to see how they're gonna do because
That might be one of their losses. I'm not
Right.
positive, but that could
and
be
that's
one
and
of
that's the
their
crazy thing. But like, does anybody remember that team the way that the Dolphins are playing right now? Don't nobody remember that game. Like, and the way that
No.
the Bills are kind of a little shaky right now. If they get rolling, man,
could
it
get
could
'em,
be
man.
very, very interesting, man. I really like that.
Especially
that
you
pick.
get Tua some confidence. We
Yeah.
see college Tua. Like,
Yep. Yeah.
Devontae Parker's playing well, man. They're figuring out their running back situation.
Yeah.
With Gaskin and was it Howard or Breida, and they still got Howard on the bench. I don't know if he's hurt or not, but like,
Yeah. Well,
they
I
got
mean,
weapons. They got names.
I
think
just
they
really
figured
like
it
what
out.
they're doing on like defensively now. Like they're getting
Yeah.
after the quarterback.
Well,
Man,
not a lot of superstars.
No,
You know what I mean? Like,
no.
I feel like it's a team effort. you
which
know?
makes it even more of a lovable story, right? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Dolphins,
yeah.
like everybody, they could have been dead. Like nobody would have known that. So, I really am enjoying watching them go after it, man. So, I'm excited to see what you got, who you got next for the next team.
Number 2. I don't know why, but I've been high on them from the get-go.
Okay.
They dipped a little bit. I think they can come back. The only team to beat the Chiefs. It's the Las Vegas Raiders.
They are also a very good team for this this exercise, man. I like that. What's your reasons?
They're also 4-3. Jacob seems to be clicking. I think Carr and Gruden are finally getting on the same page.
Yeah.
Next 5 matchups.
Oh.
Chargers, Broncos. They got the Chiefs again, who's going to be out for blood.
Yeah.
But then they follow that up with the Falcons and the Jets.
Oh man.
They could be 8-4. They could be 8-4 after that.
That looks like they are going to be a very. But I would expect them, if they had those next 5 matchups at the beginning of the season, to be, they would have a better record than they have right now. So what I want to say there is, like, at that point in the season, I don't know if they will still be taking, like, they might run up into a really good team and then, like, be a little bit of a pretender because of what they have been going against the last couple of weeks, like not really a high level of competition. But they should get some dubs.
That's why I think it steps up, you know? I think it steps up. You know, they got the Chargers, they got the Broncos,
right?
Then they got the Chiefs, and then they come back down.
And then they come back down. That's a straight up bell curve, my guy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. They could be, but they also could be rolling again when they see Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs again. So that's going to be an interesting game that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
Those are my 2 teams. I think the Dolphins and the Raiders can make some noise.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think if both of those teams were the NFC, they'd be locked for the playoffs, but a little more murky waters in the AFC. So we'll see if, I think one of those teams at least can make the playoffs.
But and then, like, not only
how
that,
they go from here.
Yeah, you gave those 2 teams, and like they're in the same conference, like everybody knows. So like they're gonna make it interesting on everybody else, and not only that, but each other as well. Like, because
tell me that's not a fun 4-5 matchup,
right?
Or what? A first round matchup in the division.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see that matchup. Like, especially like both of those teams are very fun to watch. Especially like if you watch that Raider Chief game, you know what those Raiders can be about with their big explosive plays. And it would be a very fun matchup. But Drew, talking about matchups, we got to do another full stop right here. We got to do another full stop.
Okay. What you got?
So, I mean, to be honest with you, talking to NFC, the NFC is definitely the powerhouse division. We talked about it a little bit earlier, right? 8 to 9 deep, right now with teams that's vying for the playoffs. The crazy thing about it is honestly the way that the seedings match up. The NFC East, we talked about it, is going to get a playoff spot. They're going to be the 4 seed. Right? They're going to be the 4 seed. Like, regardless of what happens, everybody is going to have a better record than they are. Like, whoever comes out of the East, whoever it may be. So
the 5's going to have a better, the 6's going to have a better.
Right, exactly. And that's why I say, because, like, honestly, with the 7 teams, only 1 team is getting a bye. Now, honestly, with this year, the way that it is, you're going to, as close of a bye as you are going to get is whoever is in that 5 seed spot. Like, whoever is in that 5 seed spot is going to have as close to a bye as possible. I mean, like, and I'm not trying to downgrade on whoever comes out of the East, but, like, I mean, can you have a easier matchup? Like, to be honest with you, the 2 seed, the 3 seed, the 6 and 7 seed are all going to have worse matchups than the 5 seed. So, like, if honestly, I know teams would never do this.
That's another number 1 seed,
right? I know teams would never do this, but you really need to be vying for that 5 seed if you can't get the 1, right? Like, I don't know how you need to finagle that, drop, get a couple of slips of the hand, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe go put the knee down, pull a Todd Gurley if you need to, do what you need to do, man. But, like, getting that 5 seed might be very important to at least get a better matchup, get a win in the playoffs, get some confidence going, especially if you got a new team in the playoffs. If you got a new team in the playoffs, you never know how they're going to react and how the lights might get to them, right? So, like, you want as easy of a matchup as possible, and having that 5 seed could actually get you that, Drew. So that's my full stop for this week, man.
I like it.
Yeah.
Well, let's keep rolling with matchups, man. What other matchups are you looking forward to this week?
Oh, so matchups. I mean, I'm gonna give y'all the other matchup first because we've been talking a lot of Bucks, but clearly that's one of the best matchups, and I'm not just being a homer. So we'll talk about that one.
I mean, Bucks
next.
Saints. That's
next.
Good TV.
Yeah. We'll talk about that one next. So my first matchup, honestly, the way that they're talking about teams that are playing good, Drew, Niners and Packers, and we talked about the injuries a little earlier. I'll get to that in a minute, but Drew, I realized I realized that I wrote up everything about the matchups and had nothing to do with Jimmy G. Like,
Because it doesn't matter.
Right, I had
It
nothing to
doesn't
do with
matter.
Jimmy G. But this is honestly, like we were just talking about it with the 5C with the full stop. This is a huge matchup for NFC playoff implications. Like at this point in the season, because also alluded to it earlier, but like every win is very important into seeing your name where it needs to be in the playoffs or out of the playoffs, right? Like that's very good for your confidence, your overall mentality, in my opinion. Can San Francisco and Shanahan continue to keep the Packers D off balance, right? Because, I mean, we all saw what just Dalvin Cook did to them boys, right? Like, they are giving up everything in the rush game right now. Like, that was very tough to see. So San Francisco does like to run the ball, like, whenever they have people on the field who can actually do so. But
bodies, they need bodies.
Right. So can the Packers stop the rush, obviously. Also talked about it earlier, but like the Niners, they're a saucy team, man. Like regardless of like they could have packed it in, right? Like they could have packed it in, and I really love to see it, man. So can they continue to kind of be exactly what they've been the last couple of weeks? I mean,
right now they're a 50-50 team. You know what I mean? 50% of the time they beat their opponents, 50% of the time they don't.
Right,
and they're
right.
So, you really don't. It's a roll of the dice every time you play them, I feel like.
Yeah, and they're clawing their way out of the basement. To be honest with you, they won the 2 out of the last 3, and they're 4-4. Right, so like they're right in the thick of it as far as that goes. Green Bay's 5-2.
Will those injuries come back and haunt them?
At this point, it remains to be seen. But this is to be honest with you, if talking about the injuries, but if Nick Mullins can be serviceable, like. They could. This is a winnable game for them if they can do a couple of good things, like you know what I'm saying. And they are home, I believe that like they're home, so that definitely helps. But talking about Green Bay a little bit, right? That's your man's. Green Bay's got to keep winning in order to because they're even though the Bears aren't really a real team,
probably are
right? Yeah, even though they aren't really a real team, they keep winning games. I don't know how they keep doing it, but they're winning games. That's my first matchup, man. Excited to hear who you got, man.
I got the Seattle Seahawks at the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're two playoff teams ready to make some noise.
Right.
Seattle keeps impressing me, man. Like, I'd love to see it. Like, one week, Tyler Lockett goes off. The next week, DK Metcalf goes off.
Yeah.
The next week, Carson's healthy and he goes off. You know what I mean? Like, Woo! Like, I just feel like Russ is walking into the locker room every week. Like, who wants it? Who wants it? You up this week? All right, we got you. Don't worry about it.
Well, we talked about that a little bit earlier in the season because, like, Russ is just a guy who's, like, not going to target one receiver specifically. If you get open, you get the ball.
He wants to win, man.
Right. Yeah. He wants to win.
He doesn't care about egos.
Yeah. And Pete Carroll does a good job of scheming different people open depending on the matchup.
87-year-old Pete Carroll.
Yeah. I don't know how old he is, but he's a silver fox, man. The guy's a silver fox, man.
He's pretty damn close to 70, I feel like.
Really? I actually think you're right. Yeah. I think you're right. Yeah.
I think he's at the tail end of his 60s. But
right.
My man's not aging, so whatever.
No,
and then you got Allen's on the other side of the ball. Allen's had a couple of sketchy games. Mm-hmm. Probably should have lost to the Patriots if we're being honest.
Yeah.
I want to see him bounce back, but I don't know if they do that against Seattle.
Yeah. We just mentioned it earlier, but like the Bills looking a little shaky, man. I mean, like the defense isn't playing as well. Allen's not.
The running backs aren't picking it up.
Yeah, I mean, well, they were a step it up candidate not too far back, maybe like a couple weeks ago, man. So he had like weirdly enough, whenever we do step up. We've been pretty consistent that they actually have stepped up like the next week, but like obviously Devin Singletary. Yeah, except Cam. Cam was in there 2 weeks in a row. Maybe if you get there 2 weeks in a row, Drew, that might be the death knell. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah. So who we got up? Is it my matchup?
Yeah. Yeah, what you got?
You know who I got. We mentioned it earlier, man, but it's Bucs Saints, baby. It's must-see TV. It's must-see TV.
That is. I mean, division control up for grabs. You know what I mean? So they got you first week.
Yeah, exactly.
How you feel? How you feeling going into this game?
I'm feeling confident though, man. I'm feeling very confident because these look like two teams who are at a different point in their season, right? Like the Saints have been very inconsistent. Offense hadn't
Up
really
and
done
down.
much without Michael Thomas. Now, if they
Is
if they
Slant
do
Boy
get,
gonna be there?
excuse me, I didn't mean to call that man out his name. If Slant
Can't
Boy
use his
plays,
government name.
right? Yeah, if Slant Boy plays, he is gonna have to get integrated back into the system, right? Like he's been out for a couple weeks, so this is a bad blood game in primetime, Drew. That's what it is.
I
Like
can
it's a
imagine.
bad blood game.
Yeah.
The consensus thinks the first game in New Orleans was a fluke. That's what Bucs fans think because they didn't had, like I said, they had really hadn't a lot of time to gel. What issues get fixed? That's one of the questions that I wrote down. So like, can the Saints passing attack get better? Like talking about for the Saints, can it get better? They're not attacking down the field. We talked about how paltry Drew Brees' distance to travel was, like being running back numbers. You know what I'm saying? So can they do more?
Yards.
Right? Can they do more than just be an East-West offense? Because that's playing right into the Bucs' hands. Like Devin White and Levante are side-to-side linebackers. So all that East to West
If
stuff.
Breeze holds on to it, he's gonna get popped.
Right. Exactly. So
he's gonna get popped.
I want to know, like, you know, are they gonna open it up? To be honest, like, which pass defense steps up? You know what I'm saying? Like, they are very close in terms of how many pass yards they're giving up per game. I want to say the Saints are slightly better there, but they're both around the teens, right? So, like, which pass defense steps up? You know what I'm saying? Especially if it may be a shootout. Somebody's gonna have to make a play. I want to see the Bucs. Obviously, I want to see the Bucs pass defense continue to ascend. And honestly, I shout out to the Saints, but their secondary goes a little deep, man. They're very strong there. So they match up well with the Bucs having a lot of weapons. So that's why it's always a pretty juicy matchup, in my opinion.
I'm excited about it, man. It's gonna be great TV.
Yeah. Just a couple more points. Just a couple more points about the Bucs, but what the Saints will want to do, they're going to target SMB. I don't know if you Sean Murphy Bunting. I don't know if you heard me mention him before, but
is he going to be on the field though?
That's what I'm saying. Like he's out there now. You know what I'm saying? So like they're still mixing him in.
Playing.
They're still mixing him in. So expect him to get targeted heavy. Like Sean Payton knows how to exploit a matchup. You know what I'm saying?
Can he cover the slant?
Can Rojo and Fournette step up? Like I want to see them kind of control the clock. So run game for the Bucs, I want to see them kind of come out and do exactly what they did not do in the first matchup. So that's my last couple of points, man. But
I love it, man. I can't wait.
Excited. I'm excited.
Is
Sunday night.
It's Sunday night. Okay, I was about to ask. Is it the night game? Did they get flexed, or was that originally the night game?
No, it was originally the night game. Yeah, they didn't do us a solid and give us one back.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, that shows you how much the NFL knew this was going to be a thing anyway. You know, you get the first night. Was it Monday night the first week?
Yeah. No, it was the Sunday afternoon game the first week. Yeah, it was a Sunday afternoon game.
I don't know why I thought it was a night game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice. Well, they get you the Sunday night game this week.
Yeah. We got it's the first of, so we got this one prime time. Well, we had the Raiders game was supposed to be prime time. We didn't get that one, and then this game prime time, and then like the Saints game. Okay. So they're getting us on TV a lot, man. Y'all gonna get tired of us if you're not tired of us already. So
already.
Well, don't care. Get it on. I need it injected into my veins right now.
He feeds. I can't even hate because he feeds off hate. So. My other matchup of the week, going back to the AFC, man, big implications. Baltimore Ravens at Indianapolis Colts. I think we finally saw Phillip Rivers play a little bit of football. So I don't know if he can keep it up.
He was looking vintage Phillip Rivers yesterday, man. Like he was tossing it around.
Hines, man. My man was flipping all around the field.
Yeah, I love that little spin move. He did it was almost like a pirouette, awesome. Something. You know what I mean?
Hardcore parkour.
Yeah. But he got in the end zone. Soft hands out of the backfield. Like he had those wheel routes. He was running.
Just line him up in the slot, man.
Yeah.
Just put him and Taylor on. Put your two best offensive players on the field at the same time.
He'd be
just
able.
Put him in the slot.
He would be able to do it, man. He would definitely be able to do it. So
especially T.Y. Hilton's pretty much done. So just take his spot.
Yeah. T.Y. I don't know what's going on with T.Y. man, but Pascal's doing it up. He's doing pretty well. So they're getting it done, but
they'll be all right.
Yeah.
And the Ravens got to bounce back because they that Steelers loss hurt.
Yeah, and I think like this might be a game where a redemption game for Lamar Jackson, because a lot of people, like, I was watching what I could, you know what I'm saying, like, just to scour on the internet, but like they're already talking about how down they are, like, on his passing ability and like all the things that he was not doing when he was, like, you know, MVP. Like, basically just it took him one game to like completely flip sides on that. So like I can't call it, man. Like, you know, it's just
I mean, the chatter's only going to get louder.
Yeah.
You know, the more he doesn't deliver, it's only going to get louder.
So it's a big game. I think he comes back though. Like, I think he comes back.
Oh, I think so too.
Yeah, and honestly, Drew, I talked about it, man. But we'll not giving too much away, but just stay tuned. It's gonna be a very interesting step up this week, man. It's gonna be a very interesting step up.
Well, before we get to step up, it is my favorite time. It is Man Crush Sunday.
Man Crush Sundays.
Who you crushing on? We'll start. We'll do wide receiver first. Who's your Man Crush wide receiver?
Man Crush wide receiver. My Man Crush wide receiver. Drew, alas, sorry I got to do this to you, man, but it is Tyreek Hill coming off that 2 touchdown performance last week, man. Like, I think they want to get him.
You might see me crushing on a couple of Chiefs here in a little bit, so it's perfectly okay.
Oh, okay. All right. Just so we're clear. But it's Tyreek Hill, 2 touchdown performance last week. And I expect it to be more of the same, to be honest with you. Yeah, that's why.
Who's gonna guard him.
That's why. Like, I expected.
We'll probably put Jackson on him. He'll get burnt.
Oof. Yeah, but he's like the speed, and you know that's why, because like he's like the speediest corner y'all have. So like, out of sheer putting speed on speed, that's what they'll do. But I expect him to go off. So who you got for your wide receiver, Drew?
I got Devontae Parker for the Miami Dolphins. I think him and Tua are starting to build a little fun friendship there, and they're playing the Cardinals. I think he's at least solid for 80 yards and a touchdown. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the good part about it is I want to say, like, shout to Devontae Parker, because I want to say that's the first time he made this list, our Man Crush Sunday. So shout to him for.
He's on my He was a waiver wire pickup on my real fantasy team, so I gotta give him a shout out because he's been very consistent this year. All right, so who you got as your tight end this week?
Oh, so my tight end, talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I know you heard this a lot, but it is Rob Gronkowski. Didn't think I would say that.
We got
I thought
it would
be OJ. Yeah, I thought it would be OJ, but sorry to see OJ go. But Gronk has been doing it up, man. Like, he's been doing it up. They've been targeting him a lot. Back. Yeah,
good
the last couple
I hate to say it, but he's good to see him back.
Yeah, and I think that's mentioned it. I didn't mention it earlier, but I think the Saints are susceptible over the middle of the field the way they've been utilizing Gronk the last couple weeks. I expect him to eat heavy, man. So
that's fair.
Who you have for your tight end man crush, my guy?
This hurts me to say, but I feel like he's gonna eat a lot this week too. I got Travis Kelce with the Chiefs. Like,
I expect
who
that.
Guards him?
I expect that.
Does Chin guard him? Like, he's a great young player, but that's Travis Kelce.
That might be a little bit too much for him. His matchup.
Put Shaq Thompson on him. Like, he's gonna just face palm Shaq.
Yeah,
I just don't think there's anyone on our young.
How many
defense.
touchdowns do you think Kelce gets this week?
I think he gets 1, and then I think he gets a garbage one too. So I think he gets 2.
He gets 2 total. I can see.
I mean, who knows if? Yeah. But, I mean, on the flip side, my man crush quarterback, I got Pat Mahomes, too. You know what I mean? So I think they're going to be a dynamic duo. I was looking back through my notes. I hadn't picked Patrick Mahomes yet as my man crush quarterback all year.
Nice.
So,
first time
of course, I pick him against my team.
Yeah. First time for everything.
But unfortunately,
if you had to do it, just stick the knife all the way in, Drew. Just stick the knife all the way in.
It's going to be bad. Yeah, it's gonna be real bad.
My quarterback is none other than the young kid Kyler Murray versus the Dolphins.
Ooh.
Talking about that matchup earlier, man. Like, I think
that's just gonna be a fun matchup.
It's gonna be a fun matchup. I think Kyler rushes all over the field, man. Tosses it all over the field. I think Tua.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have to win.
And I think you're gonna need to see more out of Tua. Like, he had enough on his plate. He got it done the first week. The defense helped him out a lot. That whole team.
Sometimes you just gotta get that first one out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? First time, you just gotta get the first one out the way.
Oh yeah, yep. And I think he'll be a little bit more ready to go next week. Got it under his belt. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see what they do. But Kyler Murray, I expect him to eat. So
I like
Fire
it.
him up
I
in
like
your lineup, man. Fire him up in your lineup.
Yeah.
Where we going next, Drew? You want to go?
We got running back and
running
defense
back.
left.
Yeah, let's do running back.
Okay.
Running back. I like
All
it.
right.
I like it. Who you got?
I got Josh Jacobs.
Mm.
Raiders against the Chargers. I think he's gonna carve them boys up.
You talked about it before, man. But he was looking like he was running angry. Like, let's just go ahead and say it.
Yeah.
Like, he
Looks like a grown man.
Yeah, I love the way he rushes the ball, and every time you want to say he's gonna get like maybe 2 or 3 yards, he winds up getting 8. You know what I'm saying? 8 or 9, if not more than that.
I love that he plays for the Raiders because he reminds me of Marshawn Lynch, and I just love watching.
Very much so. Yeah, he's a rumbler, but he's a good all around back, man.
He's got some finesse to him too, man.
That's what I'm saying.
I love it. Like he can just bulldoze you, but like with a sweet move.
Yeah, yeah. So I have talking about this. We got a lot of firsts right now, Drew. We got a lot of firsts, but
Okay.
Antonio Gibson versus the Giants. Yeah,
okay.
Antonio Gibson.
Yeah.
I got receipts, talked about him coming into the league, but he was like a very dynamic player coming out of college, finally cracking the lineup.
Some say he ran Peterson out of Washington.
Yep. So I really think he gets off this week and goes crazy on these Giants right here. We'll have to see how the rush game turns out for the Bucs, but I expect the Bucs to be in position to rush the ball, and I expect Antonio Gibson to be able to do that 2 weeks in a row on them boys. So
I like it.
That's what I got.
I like it, man.
Yeah.
Who you got as your defense? Who's your defense?
Okay. So defense.
Okay.
I had to take the layup on this one, Drew, but it is the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Dallas Cowboys. Like I had to take the layup.
I got it too.
I did
too. We're on the both sides of the warm up. I'm taking the right-handed layup. You're taking the left-handed. I picked the Pittsburgh Steelers too.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh Steelers. They're gonna just. Oh man. That game.
Yeah. That is gonna be a tune-up game for them. Any ills that they have, they are gonna get it out of the system
Danucci.
against the Cowboys, man. It's gonna be bad, man. Yeah, it's gonna be bad.
Can you imagine being a third string quarterback and being like, "We're playing who this week?"
Yeah. Can we please let's get to next week, man. Just make sure you stay out there.
We're gonna put some more offensive linemen on the field, right?
Yeah. You pretty much gonna have the third string quarterback lobbying to send that man back in the game once he has a little mishap on the field. So
I hope they got a backup quarterback ready to go and an emergency quarterback just in case.
Yeah. Or that'll be the classic trope where you see like the college quarterback wide receiver like have to warm up. You know what I'm saying?
They're gonna be like CeeDee Lamb, you played in middle school, right? Get in there.
Yep. We just need athletes at this point, baby. We just need athletes.
He's just gonna be on the phone with his agent, like I ain't doing this.
Peak Wildcat formation.
Yeah. All time Wildcat. Maybe they can talk to Big Ben and he can just be all time QB.
Yeah.
Just play the whole time.
Yeah. Some schoolyard stuff, you know what I'm saying? So
right. I love it.
So I guess it's time.
We got our locks. We got our guaranteed locked in.
Yeah. Let's do it.
We both went 1-1 last week.
Right.
So neither one of us, you didn't gain any ground on me. I still got a two game lead.
That's good.
So
I'm just happy to be.
The Colts didn't lose like I thought they would. That surprised me. But my Raiders did beat the Browns. You picked the Steelers to win, but the Dolphins didn't lose. So.
No, the Dolphins did not lose, and they surprised me, man. They surprised me, and honestly, I was happy to see it.
Yeah, I mean, it still made for good football.
Yeah.
So who you got guaranteed to lose this week?
Ooh, guaranteed to lose this week, but again, taking the layup, Drew. It is the Cowboys versus the Steelers. It is the Cowboys versus the Steelers. Like it ain't happening.
That's not even close.
It ain't happening.
That's not even.
So that's gonna be a dub for me. I can go ahead and count that one right now. So what you got? Who you got?
I'm gonna laugh so hard if the Cowboys
give
the Steelers their first loss.
If the Cowboys somehow lose this or win this game, like I am losing every lock for the rest of the season. Like it's a foregone conclusion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm going Cardinals going to lose to the Dolphins. I'm throwing it out there.
Okay. We talked about it last week, Drew. I am staying away from the Cardinals. I looked at that game and I was like, nope.
I'm dipping my toe in. I'm messing with it. I'm messing with
you. They're going to burn you.
I'm 12-4. You know what I mean? I'm feeling good. Feeling good.
Feeling good.
Yeah. And I'm gonna lose this week to that one. But no, I think Cardinals. I think the Dolphins gonna give them a run.
Right.
So we'll see.
All right, I hear you. Who you have for your winner then, sir? Who you got for your winner?
Another close game. We're talking about it in the matchups, man. Guaranteed to win. Seahawks over Buffalo.
Okay. All right. I mean, the way Buffalo's coming in, Drew, I could see it. You know what I'm saying? But in Seattle,
But historically, this could be a trap game for Seattle. You know,
It could be,
Seattle
too.
looks
Who's home?
great and then throws these games around.
Yeah.
Buffalo's at home.
Oh, Bills Mafia.
Yeah, that was a little wild card. Yep.
Yeah,
So,
Bills Mafia.
not
are they
as
allowing
much of a
people in the stadium?
guarantee as I was hoping.
Are they allowing people in the stadium?
Buffalo, probably.
Probably.
They don't care.
Probably. Yeah.
I learned that Upper New York is just like the South. It's just instead of a Confederate flag, you see the Buffalo Bills logo.
Yeah. They're wild up there, man. But they tailgates
Florida North.
They tailgates look like they're awesome though. Like I would love as
I would love to go party.
I would either like I feel like you get no in between. Like you're either loved at a Buffalo tailgate or despised and you're fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like no in between. No in between.
Yeah.
So is what it is.
Well,
Shout out to Bills Mafia.
Who's
for
your
my
winner this week?
My winner, I got the Tennessee Titans winning against the Bears, putting them boys to bed a little bit.
Interesting matchup,
right? Yeah. So I think the Titans actually get it done, get back off the schneid. The way the offense looked last week with the Bears, man, I don't think that looks like a multi-week problem. Like that, they look like they got more problems than it's going to take
bounce back from
a week to fix. You know what I mean?
We talking about practice?
Talking about practice. And they're going to need a lot of it. So I hope Nick Foles can come back, but it just didn't look very good. Like
put
good
Trubisky
football.
back in, man.
They ain't gonna do that. What do they do in the offseason, man? What do they do? Like, what are they gonna do?
Trade him. Trade him for a 6th round pick, I guess.
Who wants him? Who wants Trubisky?
Jaguars.
All right. You just made a case. You made me think twice. You know what I'm saying? Made me think twice about
49ers?
it. So yeah.
I think a team that has an injury-prone starter might want him as a safety net backup.
Yeah, they could.
You know.
Yeah, I mean he like I would like Mitch Trubisky as my backup quarterback too. I wouldn't, but I would see somebody. I could see it being on somebody else's team.
Come to Carolina.
Yeah,
come back home. Come to Carolina. Oh, now, I mean, after seeing PJ Walker play, I don't want him going anywhere anytime soon.
Okay, all right, he's looked pretty good.
I mean, he's better than Will Greer. You know what I mean? Like,
all right,
who cares?
That's something to be said. I mean, you gotta have a little.
PJ came in though. When Teddy got popped. PJ came in first throw and at a last minute like deflection, but he threw a dime 30 yards down the field. So
that's what you want to see. That's what you want to see. All right, so. I mean, talk about like just before we get into the step up candidates. We just got through our matchups. I did want to have a couple honorable mentions. So Drew, you mentioned it.
Okay.
The first one, Dolphins, Arizona. Another very good game that's on the schedule. The slate for this week. The next game, honestly, a lot of implications right now for this team if they can get it done. But in my opinion, Denver Atlanta is a sneaky good game, man. For Denver, they're 3-4 right now. So they got a chance to get back to 500 against an Atlanta team who is reeling, even though they just beat the Panthers.
I was about to say, don't expect to win.
Right.
Okay. Don't just think it's going to be a pushover.
Exactly.
Game, right?
So that's why I think it could be a sneaky good matchup, man. Like I want to see.
Here's a little
tip
for the rest of the NFL. The Falcons still have a really good offense.
Yep. Yeah, so I mean, Calvin really working his way back. But they're still a very dangerous offense, Drew. Like any given Sunday with them.
Gage,
any given Sunday. Yep.
Gurley's still, got some tread on the tires. So
yeah, and when he's not mucking it up, but I mean
mucking it up.
Come on, man. Come on, Todd. I'm still kind of mad about that.
I love that was the most
situation.
2020 thing. You lost because you scored a touchdown.
You hate to see that headline. Like, imagine seeing that headline in any other year except 2020, and then you see it this year, and you're like, oh, makes sense.
That makes sense. That adds up.
Yep.
Carry the two.
Yep. So, I think the time has come, Drew. I think the time has come.
Let the people know who needs to step it up.
It has got to be number one step-up candidate. Got to sit up in my chair for this. It's the Ravens receivers, man. The Ravens receivers. Like, Aside from yes, exactly. Aside from Willie Snead, no other Ravens receiver had over 40 yards. 40
Ooh.
yards. And that's like
Ooh.
that's including your man Mark Andrews, man. Like
No
what
wonder
happened there?
he went to Snead on the last play.
Exactly. Because nobody else was doing anything. And I'm gonna be honest with you, like y'all just signed Des Bryant to the practice squad, but like he is not a savior.
Put him on the team, man.
He is not a savior at this point. I mean, they're going to.
But what do you have to lose? What
exactly.
do you have to lose?
They're
Just
going to.
Start
but like,
man.
he's not a savior at this point in his career. Like the front office needs to get this man some help before tomorrow. I don't know if they did as we speak, but like they need to get Lamar Jackson some help right now because Hollywood Brown wasn't.
Should have
really
gone
doing
after Brown. Should have gone after Antonio Brown.
Yeah. So that's my number one candidate. The number two, step up, person who needs to step up, team, entity, whatever you want to call yourself. It is the Packers rush defense. Drew, you had to see this one coming, right? You had to see this one coming.
They ran all over you, bro.
I mean, Dalvin Cook he had a whole season's worth of highlight reels in this one game right here. Like 163 yards on the ground, 63 yards through the air, 4 total touchdowns. He did anything and everything he wanted to on y'all, and it is on tape. It is on tape. Yep. You got to live with that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like you have to live with that. Like imagine they're not gonna want to watch the film at all.
No.
At all.
But they got to. They got a whole week of it.
Exactly. And what I was gonna say is like kind of further on that note. Now, the Texans are garbage, but they don't count. But the last 2 weeks, right? Count. Just to kind of further this point, the last 2 times that they faced a good rusher, Ronald Jones 2 weeks ago had 113 yards and 2 touchdowns, and then Dalvin Cook just did what he did. So this is a trend, right? This is a trend. They need to step it up. It's
not a one-off anymore.
Nah. Number three. Talking about running being a theme here. It is the Detroit running game, like the Detroit running backs.
Please,
oh my
Swift.
God!
Come on. Man.
Oh my God!
You let me down.
These professionals, mind you, these professional football players had 29 yards between 4 people. Drew.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, I felt it with the numbers.
Yeah. And guess what? Matt Stafford had 10 of those 29 yards.
No.
Right, yes. On 13 attempts. So without Matt Stafford, that is 12 yards. 12 attempts for 19 yards. Tell me they don't need to step it up. Tell me they don't need to step it up, man.
You call yourself a running back?
Exactly.
Running is part of that, right?
It is. You use your legs and you move them one foot in front of the other, and you usually go behind people who block for you. So I don't know if it was the blocking. I don't know if it was you, but somebody need to step it up. Run game coordinator, somebody. Number 4.
Somebody.
And this has to be addressed somewhat seriously, but I mean, NFL medical staffs, man. What is going on this year, bruh? Like, what is going on this year?
Man.
Marlon Humphrey had a positive test, played in the game. The testing results wasn't back. So what's going on? Like, how did that not happen? Like, how do you let this man play? He had a COVID test before. How do you not get the results back before people are playing?
I thought that was
on
the whole thing.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like before people are playing on the field, man. Like I don't understand. And then the same thing happened with another AJ Dillon. Same thing happened with him. Not only that, talking about on getting after these medical staffs. What is going on with Trent Brown, man? Like I work in the medical field. I do IVs all the time. Like, look, this man. It sounds like they said it was an IV mishap. So it sounds like
his electrolytes. Like,
what it was is like they put too much air in his line or something like that, which is like IV 101. It was like they were talking about he could have had like
people that way, man.
An air embolism. You know what I'm saying? Like putting too much air in the line. Are you serious? Come on, man.
I'd be heated.
And these are
I didn't know that, man.
Yeah,
I didn't know it was air.
Yeah, these people are getting paid for this.
Electrolytes or something.
Nah, like that's what according to Pro Football Talk. Shout to Pro Football Talk. That's what they said. Yeah.
You found a way to make your way up the ladder of an NFL medical staff, and you don't know how to flush a line?
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, that's simple. It's simple stuff, man. So
I work with dogs and cats every day, man, and I know how to flush an IV line.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's the same thing. Animals and people, man. Like, it's classic 101. So NFL medical staffs. Maybe there's no numbers here. Everybody needs to step it up collectively. You know what I'm saying? Like no one is more important than the other. Like, obviously, the medical is a little bit more important, so that takes precedent.
You sure?
Yeah.
They're gonna start questioning these dudes, man, and I don't blame them.
They're gonna have to step up their protocols, man. I mean, the whole COVID, that's not a good look, man. Letting players out on the field that were going to test positive had you just taken a little bit more time, you know what I'm saying, doing your job, doing your due diligence. So not really a good look.
Yeah, that's no bueno.
Yeah, yep. So that's my step it up for this week, man. That's my
beautiful.
Step it up.
Well, that's our show. So
that is our show. Yeah. Gotta
Buccaneers.
Yes, it's another week
for next week.
Yeah, they don't look like they're doing too well right now, but maybe like once we get off here, maybe, you know what I'm saying, that'll turn the tide a little bit, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. They're just missing their biggest fan right now, man.
That's probably what it is. They need me a little bit, man. I hope I can give it to them, man. I really do.
Well, I hope you can cheer them on and not lose to the Giants.
This can't happen, Drew. This better not happen, man. This better not happen,
As much as you talked about this being a revenge game,
I'm telling you, man, they act like they ain't back. Like, listen, man, you got to back the fans up, man. Come on.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be personal, man. We need to get after this.
My man is out here talking for y'all, and you gonna let him down like this?
Don't let the team down, man. Don't let
the whole Bucks team's gonna be on step up candidates next week if you don't straighten up.
Yeah, and it might get ugly, and it's looking like they Drew. Yeah. That might. We gotta go. We gotta go on this one.
Well, yeah. Hit me up on Instagram at Laugh with Harrison. Follow us. All past episodes on YouTube.
Yes, sir.
Just type in Nickel and Dime. You can also catch all the past episodes and so much more at DrewHarrisonComedy.com. What about you, Sean? Where can they find you?
At the Kid Suds on Twitter and at nickel_dime football on IG, where we are bringing you as much football content as we can possibly get our hands on. So we trying to do the thing, man. So we appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe, man. Follow us. We love to interact with y'all, man. And thanks for sticking with us. We really appreciate it.
Hit us up. We'll see you next week.
Peace.